What is up, my friends? My name is Evan. Welcome back to the Evan Zhang Show. In today's video, I want to continue talking about the evidence of God, more specifically the moral argument. Ooh, this one is gonna be a big one. It's gonna get you thinking, so sit tight. The points that I will be making in this video are mainly based on Frank Turek and Norman Geisler's book, I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist. If you haven't read the book, I highly recommend it. Read it with an open heart, and I promise you, it's gonna be an eye-opening experience. But if you don't have time to read it, hey, you could watch my videos as I break it down to you in smaller chunks and summarize the main ideas and give you my own thoughts. So without further ado, let's begin. The moral argument is based on the premise that every law has a lawgiver. There is an objective, absolute moral law, and therefore there is a moral lawgiver. Without an objective standard of meaning and morality, life is ultimately meaningless. And there is nothing absolutely right or wrong. Everything is just merely an opinion, and everything is just everyone's own subjective preference. Let that sink in for a while. Pause this video, think about it. But as we all know, there is a moral law. We all innately has a fundamental sense of what is right and what is wrong. For example, we all know that love is better than hate and courage is better than cowardness. Everyone knows that there are absolute moral obligations, which is binding on all people at all times in all places. And an absolute moral law requires an absolute moral lawgiver. And of course, this doesn't mean that everyone follows the moral law perfectly at all times. And this doesn't mean that there are no moral dilemmas or every moral decision is an easy one. This simply means that there is a basic principle of right and wrong which everyone knows is true. Let me give you an example. Just like any moral law, murder is wrong for everyone, everywhere, at all times, no matter if it is in the past, if it is in the present, or if it is in the future. It is an absolute that murder of an innocent human being is wrong. I know some people might argue, then how about the trolley dilemma? If you have never heard of the trolley dilemma, you can easily find the full details on Google or YouTube. But basically, in a nutshell, the trolley dilemma presents this problem. Is it moral or ethical to sacrifice one person to save 5 people? This example is meant to show that there is no moral absolute, that moral values are perhaps determined by the consequences. But if you actually stop and really think about it, this dilemma actually proves that morals are absolute. It proves that killing off an innocent human being is wrong. That killing any number of people is wrong. The fact that you're wrestling with it, the fact that you think that it is a dilemma, it proves that killing is wrong. Because there will be no dilemma if morality were relative. If morality is ambiguous or if it is relative, then you wouldn't think that it is a dilemma. Kill one person, kill 5 persons. Heck, why not just kill all 6 of them? Who cares? The very reason that we struggle with this dilemma is because we know how valuable life is. Even Hitler knows that killing innocent human beings is wrong. That is why he had to dehumanize the Jews and categorize them as an inferior race. If they are inferior, they are less of a human, then they don't deserve to live, according to Hitler. Even the pro-abortion activists also know that killing off an innocent human being is wrong. That is why people who are pro-abortion denies the personhood of the unborn baby inside of a woman's body because they don't want to be accused of killing innocent babies. Now, I want you to consider this. If there's no God and if only material exists, then where does morality come from? If only materials exist and if materials are solely responsible for our morality, then Hitler has no moral responsibility for murdering millions of Jews. He just had bad molecules. Can you see how absurd and how crazy that sounds? Human thoughts and transcendent moral laws are not material things. They are immaterial things that cannot be weighed or physically measured. Just like how do you physically measure love or hate? How much does courage weigh? How much does cowardness weigh? Does courage weigh more than a cowardness on a weighing scale? Therefore, as you can see, morality cannot be explained by materialism or by natural selection, evolution, or any other atheistic means. There is no real good thing if there's no objective standard for what goodness is, and if there's no objective standard for morality. People like to say that the purpose of life is to be good and do good for yourself and for the society, but do good towards whose ends? Do whatever that brings the greatest good by whose definition of greatest good? Mother Teresa's or Hitler's? Why shouldn't people murder, rape, and steal to get what they want if there's really nothing beyond this world? If only material things exist, then murder and rape are nothing more than chemical reactions going on in a person's brain brought about by nature. If only chemicals exist, then nothing can be objectively wrong because there are no moral laws. So murder and rape can only be considered personal dislikes and not real moral wrongs. As soon as you start to talk about what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong, you are appealing to a standard that is beyond our human opinion, and that standard is what we mean by God's nature. An objective moral law requires an objective and transcendent moral lawgiver, and that is what we mean by God. That is it for today's video. If you found this video helpful in any way, I appreciate it if you drop me one of this. It really encourages me. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you agree or disagree with me, I would love to have a conversation with you down in the comments. If you're new to this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss out on any of my future videos on faith. Have a good day, y'all, and I'll see every one of you in my next video. Bam!